reach a host, just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Hey y'all, it's DJ Mike from Dance Time in Texas. Join me Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. as I count down the top 10 Texas Red Dirt songs that are packing the dance floor. I'll be featuring local artists and the story behind the hits, shows in the area, as well as new songs that make you want to dance. It's Dance Time in Texas with DJ Mike on Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5 KCZW and 106.1 KZCC, Conroe, Texas, or online, irlonestar.com.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Statistics show that 1 out of every 6...
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for listening to the Cindy Cochran Show and watching the Cindy Cochran Show, and however we're coming to you. We're happy that you joined us. But anyway, we've got a great show today, and it's going to be so much fun because I love to get people that work with things that are so different. It's just so many different avenues that they've gone down and worked on and been successful at. That's the main thing, is to be successful at as well. And speaking of success, I want to thank our sponsor is the Wootton Financial Group. Chris Wootton is the CEO, and he's a great guy that handles that. They've been doing this for 21 years. So if you've been 21 years, usually that means, okay, we know where you live. And so they're not going to do anything bad. And we want to just tell you, if you wait and after the show, or if I take a break, you'll hear Chris talk, and then he'll give you the phone number. And we always have all the information about the financial group, Wootton Financial Group. I did so good. Usually I remember, but right then it just went away. Wootton Financial Group. Anyway, they're great. They're great people. So I want to talk about who we have with us. Kind of putting the spotlight on Willis, Texas. Willis, Texas is about 15 minutes north of Conroe, I think. I think it's about that. Takes about that long to get to Conroe. Depends on how you're driving. How long did it take us to get here?
10 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, 10 minutes. So
not too bad.
I happened to see her getting in her car, and I said, "Hey, follow me. You want to follow me?" She said, "Yes." And I can't believe how many times I had to. Oh yeah, she's following me, and look up in the mirror, and she drives exactly the speed limit. And I have that 5-second rule where you can go, 70 in a 65. It's okay, and that's what I do. But you did great. You kept me from doing anything wrong or getting a ticket because I can't find my purse, so I don't have my license with. Oh, let me say that again. I don't have my license with me. And so I was thought, now, Cindy, you got to go slow. Now, don't do anything to attract attention to yourself.
Yeah.
And that was, so I'm sorry.
I'm not always a saint when driving either.
You're not?
No, but
do you get nervous if there's
traffic.
A policeman that comes up behind you and just is following you?
I always think
and you
I'm
haven't done
guilty.
anything wrong, have you? Not a thing.
Absolutely. I'm always guilty.
But you're always okay. You're supposed to stop the car, get out, lay straight on the ground and say, "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry."
I don't know what I did.
No, I'm sure they must have a lot of fun with working with the psychology of people if they stop and they say, "Stop so many people, I can tell immediately if they're guilty or not." And when they're they roll down the window and they start handing you, the license and the insurance and the child's birth certificate and you're whatever. What do you want from me?
What do you want? I don't even know what I did. I actually got pulled over the other day in Willis for crossing across 1097, and I didn't know what I did, and I didn't agree with the officer.
I can't. You were so sweet. I can't. I don't really agree with you, but what did you say?
Well, he said I don't even understand, but he did tell me if I kept arguing with him, he was going to give me a ticket.
Oh, my word.
So then I dialed it back a bit.
Okay.
So he would just give me a warning for crossing over the white line when I was crossing across the road. I was like, okay, sir, thank you.
Oh, lovely. That's wonderful. Samuel won't even let me teach him to drive. He's 18 and he hasn't got his license or anything. So, Richard's putting a microphone up to him. He's going to comment on something.
I was just going to say the white line thing is a true thing.
Is a true thing?
You're not supposed to, when you're exiting the highways, like don't cross the solid line.
But I thought it was like the one line. If it's a single white line.
If it's a solid
you
line, you can't cross it.
You can't?
But how do you get to the other side of the road if you're close to the intersection?
So let me. The reason I know this because I got pulled over. Over here on Fraser and Metcalf, which turns into 28-4, there's a train. So if there's a train, all the lights are red. And I'm like, well, and it's probably like 4 a.m. in the morning, 5 a.m. I'm coming up to the studio, and I'm like, well, I don't want to sit here. So I took a right, and then I was going to U-turn and then take a right. Try to go past the light. Well, when I U-turn, I crossed the solid line, and this cop pulled me over for it. And I was like, are you seriously pulling me over at 5 a.m.? No one's here.
With
and
all the things
he's
going
like,
on in the world.
He's like, yeah, you crossed the solid line. You can't U-turn on a solid line. You got to wait till you get to go further down. And I'm like, further down to what? There's a neighborhood. So you want me to go all the way to the neighborhood, find a driveway, reverse out of that, and then
scare the neighbors that come out with a shotgun.
Yeah.
And but yeah, no, it's a real thing, and it's that cop has nothing better to do if he's pulling you over.
That's a very good
irritation.
point. And when we have the police officer on here, we'll say, "Is it because you got nothing else to do and y'all been waiting around?"
Well, that's Willis for you.
Yeah.
No, Willis.
Yeah.
Oh, you were in Willis?
No, that's Willis for you though.
Oh,
That's what all the cops are doing. They're just waiting for
They're waiting and watching for the white line crossers.
It was so funny when they would stop somebody. It'd be like 3 or 4 different cars from different come and sit there, like they needed help. But it was just that it gave them something to do.
You had certain turns where it's like a 1 lane and someone's in front of you going left, and you I need to take a right, so you go into the shoulder to take a right. You see, you're not allowed to do that either because there's a solid line. So you're not allowed to cross that solid line.
That solid line that's along the side of the...
Yeah.
That's what I live by, because the blinding lights of the bright lights coming this way, I have to watch that white line, so make sure that
you're technically not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I'm going to the city council meeting. See if we get that changed, because that's the only way you can get off of that. If there's an emergency or something, you have to.
Well, see, that's different. You're not using it to advance. You're pulling over.
Oh.
So I'm talking about when you're behind somebody taking a left, and you're like, I don't want to wait for this person. I just need to take a right.
Oh, okay.
So you have to go around them, but you're crossing the line, going into the shoulder to take the right.
Okay,
you can't do that.
Maybe that's
a lot of people don't know that. And they're like, oh, why did I get pulled over? Especially your situation. Because when I got pulled over, I was like, I thought I was trying to follow the law.
Yeah.
Because his light was red, and it was going to be red for 5 minutes. So I was like, I didn't want to run it. So,
did you get a ticket? You got a ticket?
No.
You didn't.
He literally, I was like, I made the joke. He's like, we're not giving you a ticket. I was like, oh, you just wanted to talk to somebody?
Exactly.
Because it's 5 a.m. in downtown. He pulled me over right in front of the studio because I kept driving. He followed me, and he's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, oh, I operate the radio station here. And he's like, okay, well, you know why I'm pulling you over? I was like, I didn't realize you were pulling me over. I was parking. And he's like, well, you crossed the solid white line. I was like, where? And he's like, oh, when you were at that stoplight.
Innocently. Yeah, it's funny. As a young woman, when the police would stop you, you felt like I could, just go like, oh, thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No,
and they go like, I'll just give you a
that's not my
warning.
personality. I want to know why you pulled me over and what you have proof of it. And I told him, do you have a camera to prove it? I don't know what you're talking about. That is my personality. I got to learn to reel it back in.
The only thing is, after I got older, I pulled a police car over because there was a guy that was driving all over the freeway. And so I pulled up because I wasn't gonna drive until he got pretty far down the road, and then here comes the police car, and I think, oh, good, and they weren't doing anything, so they looked like they were going to start to pull off. So I got in the side of it and got in front of them to stop them. Now, you don't think I've watched enough TV? That was a stupid thing to do, but they got out and they said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "There's a guy that's driving all over the freeway up there, and I was trying to stop you so you could go get him and try and stop him." And he went, "Well, that's not the way you do it. Don't ever do that again. You may be dead yourself." I went, "Okay, I'm sorry." But I have that kind of mentality. If I see somebody beating up somebody on the side of the road, and I've done that before, and I'll pull my car up and just lay on the horn, and it usually scares them, and they would, leave.
Yeah,
And
not a wise choice.
no, not at all. My mom taught us, not to be fearless. Like you can do whatever you want to do. Just be sure it's for the right reason and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I try not to do that anymore because they can outrun me. Okay, so we've got Carlene Thomas here, and you go like, is she here just to banter with y'all, or you're starting to do a talk show with the three of you now? No, but I called her the Renaissance Woman because she's into so many different things that have been, it's not usual for a woman to be. She's a goat keeper, a horse keeper, a beekeeper, and she does all of this. Plus, she was a former teacher. She has two brilliant children and a very successful husband. It's just a sweet, sweet family, and y'all never have arguments. Are you going to dispute that? No. They're such a sweet family and would do anything for you. She lives on my street, and we're so lucky to have her. Just our neighbors are really good.
Yeah,
Some of them has some weird thing that brought drama to our.
I stay out of the drama.
No. I try and get right in the middle and find out what's going on. But there's been some drama on the street and neighbors that they could have, if they had a camera out there and shot that footage, that would have been on TMZ. It would just been so much fun. But nobody got hurt. But it was a dangerous situation, the way that people would get so angry and just like, how dare you keep your dogs from barking and keep your dogs, and the dogs usually cause so much trouble between neighbors. And but she doesn't have only dogs, she has goats, and these goats, they don't care if you don't care. They don't care where they're going to eat the grass. They're going to eat the grass. And you have these little baby goats now.
Yes.
People
we have
have to
some
stop.
Nigerian dwarf goats, and they are the cutest. So we have about 25 goats now. When we brought 5 years ago when we bought the property, it was going to be for horses.
Right.
And I built and designed the fences for the horses, and we only had 4 goats at that time. And now we have 25 goats and 2 horses, and they took over my barn that I built. So I'm kind of salty about that, but that's okay.
That's how you meet
It's
your
all
neighbors.
for the children.
That's how you meet your neighbors.
Yeah.
Carlene, because they want to come tell you that your goats,
The goats are out. Yeah.
Yeah, they're edging the street. It's great, but it is so interesting that those goats won't. When you allowed Cindy and Samuel to come take care of the animals, and so I'd drive them down there, and sit there, and those goats sounded just like people.
Oh, yes. When they're born, they definitely sound just like a baby. That's why I get that they're called kids.
Oh, my word.
Yes.
Oh, that's why. Oh, okay. Because they sound, it's so pitiful. You think, I got to go rescue that child that's been held captive. But I know people stop and just watch them on that road. They just stop, especially the little baby ones.
Yes,
because
they
they're
are
usually
so
fighting and playing and stuff.
They do like
And
to play.
it is so cute. But to corral 20, over 20 different, they're different ages and different sizes and all that.
Yes, we have boar goats. That's our main type of goats that we breed and sell is boar goats. My daughter is really the one that has the most passion for our goats. and my husband, and I'm there just as the caretaker when they're not around. And we love them. They're cute. They're really cute. They eat a lot of grass, and they keep up with the property really well. And so we like that.
Now you get a tax break, right?
We actually get our tax break from the bees now, because the bees are easier to keep, and you only have to have a certain amount of boxes of bees per acreage. So we got that tax break this year. It takes 5 years to get it. And so that's what my husband does, is he actually rents out bee boxes to properties all in the Montgomery County area. And so that other people that own property can get their tax breaks also. And he maintains the boxes for the people, and he loves it. He is
He's
definitely Matt the bee man.
Well, we're going to have him and Morgan, their daughter, who is obsessed with goats, and she knows all about the goats.
Yes.
On in a couple of weeks, and when he gets back in town, and for him to talk about, because he's head of the Bee Association.
Yes, he's the president of the Montgomery County Bee Association, and they do meetings once a month, I believe, and he teaches and helps just bring teachers in to learn in the community. He also helps kids learn. They have a youth program where the youth can apply and they get approved and they get their own bee box, and they can learn how to be a beekeeper from the master beekeepers.
Yeah, they have to wear those.
Yes.
All the stuff and the gloves and everything.
Yeah.
And the smoke is what calms them
Yes.
down, and that's what you see. I watched enough cartoons that I know these things. But I can't imagine. It would be so scary because, Samuel and Cindy just scream. And especially Cindy. If there's a bee that gets in the house, they go crazy. And I said, y'all, you're bigger than that bee.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be okay.
I think they can sense fear, too.
Yeah,
The bees
yeah.
can.
Oh, they hate the bees. And so, but when you started the bees, the honey thing, and y'all were selling the honey.
Yeah.
They love that. And you still sell the honey.
Yes.
But you sell it at the different,
We sell
venues?
it at a shop in Montgomery, and the Woodlands has a shop, and we also sell it just at the end of our road when we have a lot, and then sometimes we'll go sell it at markets, but most of the time we honestly just have pop up a table at the end of Calvary Road and Squirrel Tree and sell it, and my son, he sits out there and sells
bless
honey.
his heart, not today. He's not going to sit out there. But I think that's funny is that I was driving down there, and Tyler had the table. He was by himself.
Yes.
He had the table, and that ditch comes down.
Yeah.
So it was like this, and he would put his chair. He said, that's how it's going to be. So he puts his chair under it. Now this table is like this up here, and he's down here in the chair waiting for people to stop. People stopped, but they thought he needed help to get the table, get the table about.
That was his marketing technique, don't
that
you
was
know?
so smart. He learned that from his mom. Looked like you were in dire trouble. No, he was so cute because I stopped and I went, "Do you need help? Do you need me to help you at the table?" And he goes, "No, I got it. That's how I wanted.
Yeah.
I meant to do that." So it was so cute. And your kids are real entrepreneurs as well. Mm-hmm. So they'll sell or do anything. It's really the mindset is so great to get kids, especially nowadays, that this is what you want money to do stuff, or you want money to do things that you want to do, then you're going to have to work for it, find a way.
Yeah.
And I know that Tyler's he's doing basketball.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So he's
in AAU. He plays on really 3 teams. He keeps me busy a lot with playing on basketball every week. But that's okay. I love it. He loves it, and I want to be supportive of what he loves. So
you're such a good mother. It's so good. Don't tell Cindy or anything that that's what you do. But I think that he was like this tall forever. Mm-hmm. And then one day he came walking out with Morgan, and he was this tall. And I went, "What happened?" And it was amazing. Did y'all think? I mean, because your husband's tall and you're not short, but your husband's really tall.
Yeah.
So
I really didn't know what to make of what Tyler was going to be, and I'm glad he grew
oh man,
into
he really did
his
shoot up there.
athletic self.
And he sells the bee at the end of the street, and so people pull over. Where do they pull over? Do they come
on
up
the side?
squirrel?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Since that's our property, they just pull over right there. Yeah, we enjoy the bees and the kids, and like you said, mindset is so important, and that's what I like to teach them, to think greater than just limited thoughts. And if you want something, you have to think. And with the world today, with all the kids and the knowledge that they have in front of them just by the computer, is and so important to just encourage them to use it and encourage that tool to be used and not just sit around playing on video games.
Right.
But honestly, Tyler plays lots of video games, but I always try to teach him, you got to do something else besides that.
Yeah,
and
because
do
he was
something
really
more.
into the video game part of it.
Oh, yeah.
And Sam, of course, feels like that's the ruination of all society is the video games, because Samuel, he knows all. He gets them real fast. He beats them real fast. And his uncle was just amazed because he's always making fun of him, just playing so many games. It's like the kid in the basement, And he said, "How? What makes you think that playing games is going to help you in any way?" And he said, "You just wait. Just wait. It's coming." So it's like he was, like, AI's coming, and I'm going to learn. I know so much that you don't know. But the violent games that they play, we had to stop, let him do that. But now it's more it's really interesting, and their graphics are amazing. So I understand why they get caught up in that.
Well, that's what I was doing as a
world.
teacher. I was thinking, watching videos and things as a teacher, my mind was like, well, how did they make this video? What program did they use? And where did they upload that to?
And why don't they do a classroom and a teacher that's really good or funny or whatever and exciting, and make it, something that the kids will watch? Because, say, okay, you sit in front of this computer and this teacher will come on and will tell you everything you need to know. And if you need to go back and rewind, you have to raise your hand, and we'll let you go back to it.
Interesting.
But it's just, that was the ruination of it. And not many kids went through it and did fine. And that's what you have to remind Samuel and Cindy. I said, there's too many kids that got through this that they really did try and concentrate on. I said, yeah, but you don't understand, Grandma. You never had to do this kind of stuff. I said, man, if I could have stayed home and worked on a computer instead of having to go to school, and that would have been like my dream.
Well, I think it has to do, this just brings me back to when I was teaching third grade this past year. I really enjoyed our unit that we had on inventors and business owners, because we studied Sam Walton, and he actually worked for J.C. Penney. I loved studying this with the kids, and he actually got almost fired. Like, they told him he was not good at his job, pretty much. And he went into the Army. I don't know what type of military it was, actually, but they gave him an aptitude test. And that hit me, because they found out what his natural abilities were.
Right.
And then they tailored his progress in the military to that, and he excelled so well, and he was able to find his strengths and grow with them. In our public education system, we don't give kids aptitude tests. We don't know what is their strengths and teach them how to grow those strengths. We just give them a blank state test that says you can do it or not. And unfortunately, our curriculum is based on those questions on that test, and not on what the kids' strengths are.
Right.
And so then in that process of the whole time, they get either excited about school and their confidence is grown by the 10% maybe that excel, and the 90 other percent, their confidence starts to go down and down. That's what I observed as a teacher.
No, that makes total sense.
Right.
It's like common sense. And that we're all individuals, and so we can't learn the same way, or we're not interested all in the same thing. And when they send down those blanket things to make everybody do whatever they have to do, the administration in Austin, I would just love. I wish they had hearings.
I think that everyone has a great heart and wants the best for all the kids. It's just how we get there might need to be adjusted a bit.
Well, here's a sample of what they did, and they started a program where they took the kids and they had them in a room, and they were all in like 4 different lines, let's say, and so then the teacher starts asking questions like, have you ever been kicked out of y'all's house or apartment? Have your parents and you've been kicked out of your house apartment? If so, then you go back.
Oh, yes.
And then they had them say, if you have made straight A's this year, go forward. And then those kids would go forward. And they said, if you ever had has any of your parents ever gone to jail? Now you go back. And when I found out, because I picked up the kids after it was over, and
Yes.
one of the girls was just crying. She was so upset. And so was Cindy, because Cindy said, I was like at the back of the room, and my friends in front were turning around going, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
and I went, she said, it was so embarrassing. And I went, ugh. So the first thing I did was to go to the AP and sit down with him. And we had a discussion on, he better not ever bring that test again to this school, because I will have every, TV station bring out the cameras and let them see what you're doing.
Yeah.
You have humiliated these kids. And what do you think that did to them? Why do you think that was good? And he said to me, it was to let all the kids know that not everybody has everything that they need, or that there are a lot of kids that don't have everything, and that have been through a horrible time. So it helps them understand. I went, oh, lovely. So the kids that had to be standing up against the back wall and stand there, and what did you do to their psyche? Do you think you made them feel more uplifted? What
Right.
was?
And you're more confident in their
Oh,
abilities? No.
I mean,
Not
he
the right
was
way
like,
to go about it.
yeah. So do you remember that?
Yes.
That thing?
They actually had us do that as teachers, too.
Yes.
And
yes.
it infuriated me a bit because
Well, I said, you cannot do this. And if I get wind of it, it's going to be, it'll be legal. It comes legal, because what you're doing is hurting kids. You want
Right.
to hurt them or you want to help them? There's got to be other tests or other things that y'all
Right.
can do Maypole or something.
And that goes back to that mindset. We should have in our schools of teaching kids how to have a winner's mindset and how to have a mindset that they can excel in life. Because sometimes, some people just honestly have mental positive mindset that they're born with. But honestly, like myself, I have to work on it. I have to read books. I have to keep my mind, I have to make myself think positive. And it's only been in the last few years that I have accepted that I have to do that. And we should be teaching kids how to do that. It's as important part.
That's so true, especially now when we have the suicides and we have all the
Yes.
depression that's going on. And it's really sad that the kids have to hurt because because the adults think this is the best for them or whatever. And
Right.
and no, I can't imagine the focus groups that have not been done on a lot of the stuff, curriculum that they want to teach and what they want to send out. And now they quit asking the parents. The parents don't have anything to do with it. You better hope that you make the PTO meeting, or you hope that you can get in front of them. But you still are shut down. That it's still not there. We are so much better than the East. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
We're so much better, and our kids, they want to protect them and they want to make sure they're okay. And we've got the law enforcement, and we have the people that say we want our kids to be safe in school.
Yes.
We'll do everything we can to do it. And I know it's not to expect it to be perfect and all that, but you have to make sure that, it just has to be talked about. People have to talk about it, and you don't want a horrible thing to happen again at school, and then you sit back down, everybody's jumping up and down about, the gun control or whatever, and that's way too late. It's just too late. We do that right now. But that's why I like the system, is that it's much more like we want the parents to be involved. But if you do, school board, if you want us to be involved, then let us be involved. Send papers home that we know, and don't give some kind of, you have to go through this system, this portal, and this, I get stuck in the portal. I can't get through the portal, and trying to find out what the kids are doing, because a lot of times the kids don't want to tell you everything that's, about their grades and stuff. But when they send home papers, you could open up the papers and you could see what was going on.
See the physical papers.
And so when they kicked us out of the school system, it just...
Well, yeah, mainly because they move on the Canvas and operating system, and you can't really log in as the student and see the actual work. You can only get the reports.
Right.
So you have to have that, and it's teachers are so busy just trying to keep up because of the load that they have put on them as a teacher.
Yeah, because everybody in my family has been a teacher or a principal or something, and they we'll have arguments about it. They say, but you don't know what you're talking about, Cindy, because you're not there. I went, look, I give all the respect to you guys. You're on the front line, and they tell you have to do this, and you have to give them this, and you have to call them by the name they want to be called, and you have to, the things that you're being put under pressure for. Mm-hmm. I understand that's terrible, but you guys don't want to make any waves because, it's your job. Yeah. But they're losing teachers. And my daughter said, I can't tell you how many teachers are going to be leaving next year, and they're going to have to replace. And I went up to Willis High School, and I said, now listen, I just want you to know, I know y'all are desperate, so I didn't know how desperate you were, but I would be glad to help, if you need me to babysit a class or need me to come in and teach sign language in a class, I'll be glad to do that. Said,
sign language would be fun.
Don't call us, we'll call you. Thank you very much, Ms. Cochran. So, okay, fine. But I thought, they do seem like they're pretty desperate for the teachers, and we may have to be paying higher taxes to pay the teachers more, but it's still such a bone of contention for taxpayers. And then what the kids come home with and what they found out they were being taught during the pandemic. They thought, what? They're sitting there listening to the teachers for the first time. They're watching teachers online and go, wait, what did she just say? That's not how you do math. And
math can be done in many ways. That's what I learned also with teaching. Well, and I get it because after teaching third grade, I hadn't done some of that math in years, and I had to get my mind. And kids do learn in different ways, and so you will have several of the kids understand it one way, but there is a section that they do not understand how to do regrouping of multiplication with regrouping or addition with regrouping. They don't get it, and you do have to have those alternative processes, and that's what makes a good teacher great.
Could you apply for being a principal, because all the teachers would love you, and because you'd be so fair and all that? They would hate me. I would just we're going to clean the deck and we're going to start over again, and we're going to vent. No, it's not the teacher's fault. I know that what they're getting slammed with is very difficult, and so it makes it hard for them to be like, hey guys, come on, let's come on and let's start our day. And
I think it's great, so many options that they have in Willis High School and many of the high schools. I studied all of them before we moved here. I literally went through Montgomery, Magnolia, all of them to find the opportunities for the kids, and they all are generally have so many opportunities in high school. And
they do.
They can go in many different directions, which helps kids to really
the CTE thing, foundation. The career, I don't know what it stands for, career or something, but is amazing because when they become a junior, they can take those courses and not be guaranteed a job, but it's going to help them get a job a lot faster, and they're going to know if that's what they want to do. Yes. So it's very, very cool what they do.
Have some experience
no
before
idea.
They finish.
That to have Definitely. The experience of it. Okay, so I'm sorry we got off on that diatribe. Sorry, but it's great having a teacher in front of me that is not beholden to any school, and that you can say exactly what you feel and what you're so sweet and so kind. That's what I mean. You would be a great administrator, I think.
Well,
I think you would. And they need to be I'd have to go probably negotiate your
Well, my problem is I don't always fall within their box.
That's
of
what I mean.
thinking.
I love that.
Whenever I see something's not running efficiently,
Right.
or something is not done with the best, I have a mouth that tells everyone. They don't always want to hear it.
No, they don't. That's what I mean.
That's why I've decided to do entrepreneurial things instead, because I do find myself thinking outside of the box. And it's so funny because when I was, when we lived in Orange, I stopped being official teacher and I had some extra time and I went to the principal and I had my teaching certifications and everything. And I said, I just want to come and help the kids read. I want to just volunteer to read with low kids, because I had been a first grade teacher, and he literally told me that. Well, that's a little bit outside of our box.
Oh my word.
I said, okay. Well, he said, you can come make copies for us. And I said, but I'm a reading teacher. I actually did this last school year. And I
talent.
but anyway, that's okay. Because we all have a plan that God has for us.
Right.
And we have to be able to face fear and follow that path instead of the easy path. And sometimes that easy path might be the bigger road, but the smaller road might have greater reward.
That's
and
right.
So that's where I'm at.
Okay. Now you can get your songbooks out of the back of the pew, and then we'll start.
Yeah.
Let's sing.
Yeah.
No, that was good. That was church. You really preached that good. I love that. And that's why I guess you can compartmentalize and be able to do all these different things. And you're the beekeeper and the horse keeper. Now, your kids are great because they go out and they will feed the animals, and, probably not with much rebellion. I'm sure. No, never. So I think.
No, they really don't.
I know they love to do
know,
that.
Then I get my dictative voice and say, go do this and go do this. And they'll know when I need the help and when I'm happy to do it myself. So
that's
kind of
awesome.
respected.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
our group is I'll wait you out. I'll wait you out. I know the dishes are in there, but I'm going to wait you out until the mold is too bad or whatever. Then I might do it. But because I know Grandma will go in there and clean it eventually. But it's the dynamics of a family is just great. I mean, you learn so much from, you can get aggravated and mad, but you're still a family. And it's great. So I think that your farm, do you call it a farm? Is it a farm?
We actually on the signs have Thomas Farms, but our honey is called Squirrel Tree Ranch Honey.
Squirrel Tree Ranch Honey. No one knows how to spell squirrel. I know.
No.
I found that out when I moved.
That's
on
true.
That. They say, okay, I just don't know how to spell squirrel. Could you spell that for me one more time? Squirrel.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm so proud.
And we have the Squirrel Tree Ranch boar goats. So
And the goats too.
yes.
Okay.
And so
Those goats are amazing.
my daughter, she wants to sell the goats for 4-H kids. So we have a specific billy goat right now that has a good look, and then we breed the goats. So that's why we have so many right now, and we have many for sale because
You do.
we have a lot of baby, what are they called? Does are the little ones, and then the little bucks, the bucklings is what they're called. When Morgan comes, she'll tell you exactly.
Yeah, she's going to learn us on all that.
Yes, she is amazing. And just the knowledge they have, if you ever have a goat issue, they can tell you anything that you need to know.
Now, do people bring goats into their house as a pet?
Some I have read online do. We do not. Because
I was trying to think how you could get them trained.
to.
Yeah, not to do
Yeah,
anything in the
I have
house
heard
and not
that.
have to eat up the rugs and that kind
We
of
have
stuff.
had many goats in the past, especially when we were learning at the beginning when we lived in Orange, that we had to bottle feed. And those you have to feed every 2 hours. So sometimes they would live in the living room with me because we would have to feed them with the bottle every 2 hours. But we actually feel lucky as goat farmers because if you don't need to bottle feed, that means those mamas were healthy and the babies were healthy and everything worked right. And that this past year, we have not had to have one bottle fed baby.
Oh,
which
that's
is
great.
So
That's great. Y'all have really evolved into,
yeah.
like, what's
health.
going on, But so the ones that if they get out in the street, should I honk? Will they go back
Actually,
down down into the
go.
ditch?
I
What will they
honk at
do?
them sometimes. We finally got our fences fixed.
You did?
And
Okay.
Yes, most of that. We found one gap that got fixed the other day, and most of the time they stay in the property now.
But
They
y'all
are
got these
tricky.
beautiful white picket fences, and then you had to put, I guess, the what's it called?
Goat wire.
Goat
yeah.
wires, yeah.
Yeah.
And to keep them all in.
Yeah.
And that, but if you go, come here, goat. What? How do you call them? How do you call a goat?
No, we don't really call them. We only have a few goats that actually come up to us and want to be around us, which are those Nigerian dwarf goats. But the others just kind of keep to themselves.
They do, and they think they're in trouble. or
Unless you
something
have
if you
food,
can't.
then they're ready to come
Yeah.
anytime.
Oh my word, they're always hungry.
Yes, they eat
I
more
just-
than my 2 horses. Yes,
They do eat more than the
Yes,
horses
they do.
Oh.
we spend more money on the goats than the
Well,
horses. On
it was
food,
so funny
for
when
sure.
Samuel and Cindy were taking care of him, and here's Samuel and Cindy screaming, "Grandma, come here, come here, come here!" Go away. So I go over there, and this goat has his head caught outside that
Yes.
fence, and it's still eating, but it can't get the head back in. They don't know what to do to get the head back in, and all the other goats are mad because we're spending so much time with this one goat, and the sounds they make are just, I mean, it's creepy because I didn't know that goats sounded like a human
They're
being.
crying and screaming.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, they know what to do. They I don't know how they learned that, but they know what to do.
They can-
But I think that you had a rabbit, but you don't have rabbits anymore.
No, we got rid of the rabbits. We decided to focus on goats for 4-H instead of rabbits.
Okay, and so you're going to use these goats to give to some 4-H kids, or
Well,
what?
we sell them.
You sell them to 4-H
yes,
kids,
for the
okay.
Montgomery County Fair. Is we have to breed goats at a certain time for certain fairs. So we have some that are January, February born, and those would be for fairs that are in earlier, and then you have their March and April, which is for Montgomery County Fair. So
Well, they're just the cutest things in the world until they get
And they get older.
really older,
Yeah.
and then they come and what do they call it? They
headbutt you.
headbutt you in the behind, and that was the worst because I was in there and I'd be trying to feed them and get them to let this other guy
Yes.
eat. Come on, move back.
Yeah.
And then one of them come up and hit me in the back. I was like, it was kind of funny because it's what happens in movies. But I've seen so many movies now where goats are so popular because they're doing yoga with them.
Yes.
Are y'all going to sell any of your goats to any yoga
The
places?
little dwarf goats are good for that. They're small, and you have to just raise them to be excited about people. They will jump on anything. That is one of their natural instincts, is
Right.
to jump around and hop on things. And so that's kind of so yeah, we have a couple of those for sale. Just 2 really of those small goats, because most of our are boar goats.
Well,
for 4-H.
Richard, would you let a goat climb on your back?
They find it relaxing.
The people look like they really like that. Would you like that? Would it be embarrassing?
No,
You do that?
I mean, not by choice.
Well, if they walk on it, and of course, it's just up and down your back, and I know that looks good, but the way you have to sit there, and you're trying to keep them from licking and doing your face and all that.
I can
But
imagine.
but it looks like it would be so much fun to do that. So if you're ever wondering what to do on a date, it might be something to think about.
Probably have to shower afterwards.
Yeah, probably. No, you don't they don't slobber on you or anything. They
They're
might.
goats.
Well, if they have to go, if you resemble enough a rock and like they're climbing on a rock, they feel like they can
They can hop
do
on.
that kind of stuff.
Maybe it's to encourage balance. That's what I'm thinking, why they do it.
To encourage balance.
Yeah, because you have to stand straight, or whatever yoga position you're in, you have to stay, and maybe that's why it
I think
helps.
that's hilarious. And so they have a place like in Willis where people do that?
I don't know in the area where they have
Okay.
yoga. It might be down from our house. There is a little place down on Calvary Road that has goats, and they have cabins that you can stay at. And Matt actually went over there and helped them with their bees a couple weeks ago. So you could look into it.
Oh my goodness!
I don't remember the name right now.
So they're trying to steal your thunder.
Oh no!
You got so much stuff. No, you got plenty, and I'm just so surprised people don't go by, because those little ones are so cute, and go by and pick it up and say, well, they're not watching them. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it.
We've had one stolen.
You had one stolen.
One baby goat stolen. Yeah,
Oh.
About a year ago. But yeah.
Well, they'll get it back, because that thing will sound like a baby crying and people walking around.
Before we got our fences all fixed. Yeah.
No,
So.
This is what's bad is my car. My car is, after you're supposed to turn the AC off and then turn the car off. And I always forget to do that, but I found out it doesn't matter. It's still going to whine like a baby. And I have to talk to it and tell it, I'm so sorry I forgot to turn it off. But it'll stay for the longest time with this horrible tone, like a baby crying and hurt. And I'm sitting in the car, and people are walking around the car, and I'm going like, I don't know where that comes from, but it's really sad. And I've got to record it sometime. I think that'll be good if I could do that. But I think that tomorrow, I want to tell people that tomorrow is. I don't know if you've been downtown Willis. There's a mercantile there.
We've
Have you been in there?
Yes, it's great.
Isn't that one? They're going to be here tomorrow. Two sisters,
great.
Shanna
Yes.
and Shannon and Charla and Shannon. Okay, and they're going to be here. And I went in there yesterday because I just wanted to see what it looked like. It's overwhelming. I mean, the data overwhelms you. Like, you've got so much to look at, but they've got 21 businesses in there that they can. They're supporting. They're letting them come in and do. I don't know what you call it when you come in and you leave your stuff there, and if you get sales, then they'll pay for it. It's called. Anyway, why I start a conversation like that without thinking first? What is the name of that? But I know my listeners will know.
The mercantile is right.
But the mercantile is awesome, and it just makes you happy. You go in there and your spirits are lifted.
There's a lot of variety of stuff.
Oh man, go back and in your childhood and all that. And they have a great Astros room. It's almost like paying homage to the Astros. You walk in there, and they have
you can get any Astros shirt you need.
Anyone that you need, and it's right there next to Willis Local. Yes. And Willis Local is changing hands, and they don't know exactly which hand they want to figure out what they're going to do in that. But they're figuring it out. It's so bright and yellow, I hope they do it fast. And the mercantile is right next to that.
Yes.
And it is something to go in and just have a good time and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed with all the people that she's helping, and that she said we just wanted to give everybody that had a talent and creativity someplace to come and be able to put their stuff.
Show it off.
And that's just.
Yeah.
I said, well, I thought, well, what if it's ugly, or what if you don't like it? Do you tell them?
It doesn't matter.
Sorry,
It's
go
pretty
back
to
and try
somebody.
that again.
Well, that's where I come in. I have my new business, Upstar Solutions, and we show talent to the local community through digital advertising and marketing. So we show people around the community. So we have different things called like mobile wallet passes. And in the mobile wallet pass, you can send out a pass, and it'll literally go to everyone's phone, and it'll show like a 20% off today when they walk within a distance to that business. So
that's
those are the kind of
great.
things that, I'm excited about moving from teaching on to doing something on my own. And then we have a loyalty rewards program, so that whenever a business or a customer comes into your business and you buy something from them, well, we can send them an email or a text message to encourage them to come back, and that really helps.
There you go.
And
yes, it's like not Google. Somebody's always trying to remind me. I know it's not Richard, but somebody's always trying to remind me talk to your people that are your listeners. Answer them.
Yes.
Call them. Let them know what you're doing. They're always doing that. And it's like a lot of times I know all these people, and if I bother them with, how are you doing today? Is everything okay? I do that. There's
Yeah.
just as a friend I would do it. But I would want it to sound like that'd be creepy.
Well, just helping out local businesses is so important. And
Yes.
it's been so popular now, too, with the small towns and large towns,
Right.
is to really help out those small businesses and help. Like Blue Willow Coffee is right over there next to the
Yes, I
Mercantile.
saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
And everyone loves their coffee.
Well, that's what we had on here. So it was someone that started a coffee truck, and then they just built, and so it was just it's
Yeah.
great to see them take off and thrive and all
Yes.
that. And so that's what we wanted to do, and it was like, I don't know who to talk to in Willis. I mean, I can go up and say, hey, y'all want to be on? But I met two people. You were one of them, and you told me about Caitlin. Caitlin sent me to done it. It just
Yes.
and all these people started calling me. And I was like so excited
Oh, that's great.
that
Yeah.
they were
there's a
wanting
lot
to
of
come
small
on.
town businesses.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if I had a business and I had no budget for advertising, I would want anyone that wants to give me free airtime or
Oh, yeah, definitely.
bring people to them. That's all. I would love that. So that's what we're trying to do. And I think that Richard is the best for having this venue for
Yes.
all the people that want to come on, and especially if they're good and fun like you. But now we only have 2 minutes, and I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Because you
It's
have
fun.
so many things to do. I appreciate it. And anytime anything's happening or you're an event that you need to focus on, or you want to bring a client in from the advertising
yeah.
side, let me know.
Definitely.
We
you.
want to do that for you. It is so hot outside. Please be careful. It is so hot. And this is the fan I have. It's not much, but it's something. And so if you be careful, and to also watch out for the weather. It's supposed to be like there's storms could be coming, and really bad storms, and so be careful about that. Now, the submersible, they have heard a hitting of the back. They could tell it's every 30 minutes they were hearing a sound, so they think that has to be human. I hope so. Okay, so they're looking, and just pray that comes out okay. All right, listen, first responders, we love you so much. We love you. We admire you. We think you're great. You're so brave. You're so brave. Thank you. All right, have a good week. No, it's just Wednesday, right? I'm thinking
Just
this is
Wednesday.
Thursday. I have one more day, and tomorrow we'll talk about the Willis Mercantile. They're crazy. You're going to have a good time. All right, see ya.
Every week, people ask the same two questions. Are they ready to retire? Will their savings last for their lifetimes? Hi, this is Chris Wootton with Wootton Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. We help answer these two questions and many more that people have about their uncertain financial future. We have a simple introductory client experience that allows us to get to know the client and includes a few meetings for the client to kick the tires at no charge. We provide a concise, one-page summary that helps the client get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for them. To learn more about Wootton Financial Group's process in helping their clients to a clearer financial future and to see their contact information, visit Cindy Cochran's show page on irlonestar.com/TCCS. Wootton Financial Group is a proud sponsor of the Cindy Cochran Show. Wootton Financial Group is available by phone at 936-449-5952 or visit them on the web at www.woottonfinancial.com. That's www.woottonfinancial.com.
This program is sponsored by the Wootton Financial Group. It is not the intent of Wootton Financial Group to render or offer personalized investment advice or financial planning advice through this radio program or any related website. Wootton Financial Group's participation in this program is limited to providing general information on financial matters and should not be construed as financial recommendation or investment advice. Investment advisory services are offered through Game Plan Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and the state of Texas. Insurance services are offered through Wootton Financial Group, Inc. Game Plan Advisors and Wootton Financial Group, Inc. are affiliated through common ownership, and neither firm is affiliated with The Cindy Cochran Show. No listener should assume that any information presented and or made available on this program serves as the receipt of or a substitute for personalized individual advice from Game Plan Advisors, Wootton Financial Group, or any of their representatives.
An estimated 1 in 10 births will result